Jews across the world are sometimes suspicious. And one of the things that they're very suspicious about is the ayin hora. The ayin hora means the evil eye. And in different Jewish civilizations, societies, you find amulets, for example, prayers against the evil eye. This is a question that I'm often asked by congregants. What is this evil eye, Rabbi? Does it really exist? Is it just superstitious? Is it something Jewish at all? And I like to answer them as follows, in reference to this week's Parsha, Parshat Balak, in which Balak, the king of Moab, hires Bilam, the sorcerer, the magician, to curse the Jewish people. Bilam goes to the top of a cliff, of a mountain, and he looks down upon the Jewish people. And he looks down upon them with a jaundiced eye, with an evil eye. In fact, the sages tell us in Pirkei Avot that one of the qualities that Bilam possessed was ayin ra. He had a wicked eye. Now, what does that mean, a wicked eye? And this is, of course, contrasted with the opposite quality, which is an ayin tov, to have a good eye. And I think the explanation is perhaps as simple as this. A person with an ayin ra, with an evil eye, looks upon the successes of others and he begrudges them that success. He looks at his neighbor. His neighbor has a bigger house and he has a smaller house. And he says to himself, why does my neighbor have a bigger house? Why don't I have that bigger house? He's resentful of that other person. He sees that a person has a better marriage than he does. And he's resentful of the fact that that person has that spouse. Whatever type of wonderful attribute, whatever type of material possession another person has, he looks upon that person with the wicked eye. Why do they have that? They don't deserve that. I should have that. And in Jewish thought, such an idea and such a thought, in fact, has spiritual power. You may not be able to see it or even feel it, but it has spiritual power. It has negative power. So Bilam here is standing at the top of the mountain. He's looking over the Jews, and he looks at them and he sees, this is a magnificent group of people. They are divided in such an orderly manner. Their tents are arranged in such a way that one tent does not look into another tent. Everybody has privacy. He sees that they're a people of kedusha, of sanctity, a people of modesty, a people who are connected to God. These are all of the things that he wants, but he knows that he cannot get. And he begrudges them, and he tries to curse them. And of course, you know that Hashem turns it around. But this is what he's looking at. The opposite of this is somebody who has an ayin tov, a good eye. And in fact, this was one of the qualities of Avraham Avinu, our forefather Avraham. When you see a person who has success, what do you feel in your heart? That's wonderful for you. I'm so pleased for you. That God should bless you with such a thing, that's fantastic. I don't want it for myself. I don't feel poorly or badly about the fact that you have that type of physical, spiritual, or material blessing. That's a wonderful thing. This is an ayin tov. It's not something airy-fairy. It's not something spiritual. It's a very real thing. And one of my colleagues says that people who have an ayin ra, who have an evil eye, people who are resentful, are allowing other people to live rent-free in their minds. They're walking around the whole time begrudging and being resentful of other people and what other people did and said and have. And the other person doesn't even know about it whatsoever. They're destroying themselves. They're not necessarily destroying other people. So if a person wants to ward off the ayin ra, the evil eye, first of all, they themselves have to have a good eye. But more than that, you have to live in a modest way. Because the more that you show off, and the more that you say, I'm out there, I've got this, I've got everything, I've got every type of blessing, you are going to invite the evil eye. And one of the most powerful proofs of this is the way in which the Torah was given. The Torah was in fact given twice. The Ten Commandments were given twice. The first time in Parashat Yitro with incredible special effects, with thunder and lightning and noises and the shofar, everybody surrounding the mountain, and Hashem gives the luchot, the tablets, to Moshe. But we know what happens 40 days later. He comes down, the golden calf, they smashed, they lost for good. So the second time round, when Hashem gives the second luchot in Parshat Va'kitisa, it's done very quietly. Just Hashem and Moshe. No fireworks, no special effects. Because Hashem said, perhaps the reason why it didn't work the first time is because it was done in too much of a spectacular fashion. And that invites the evil eye. So we're going to give it as privately as possible. And of course, those luchot, those tablets, existed and still exist somewhere. They're lost. That's the idea behind the evil eye. Begrudging another person's fortune. We should be the type of people who have an ayin tov, a good eye, and always look well on the successes of other people. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.